Good morning, everyone. So I'm redoing this video because I shot a video last night and I went to sleep on it to see before I would upload it, and I decided, I think I'm gonna redo it. So welcome to Be So Light, and welcome to my channel. I am Priestess Michaela, aka known as Felicia, also Niana, and I want you to hit that like button and share and subscribe if this channel resonates with you, and to know that this is a metaphysical channel. Okay, it's a metaphysical channel. It's just all about moving forward, breaking out of old patterns and old belief systems that do not work on our current Mother's Earth frequency. Okay, so I'm redoing the video because it was a little lengthy last night when I shot it, and so I'm gonna kind of tighten it up a little bit. I went on a tangent. I shouldn't have went on a tangent. So anyway, let me share with you. Yes, I am in my place. Yes, I had other videos that I had talked about that I was going to load up, but they're out of date, and I'm like, So I'm just moving forward. So I'm in a new place, living in Folsom, and love my place, love the vibe, love the energy, and I feel a lot of creativity, and I feel stronger, like my body's healing, because some of you might know the place where I was living, I did not realize that there was some toxic things going on. I knew something was kind of in the air with it, and was trying to keep it cleansed as much as I could, but that wasn't enough. There was something more major going on. And since I've been out, my body's been feeling so much better. So what a blessing in disguise. I could have slowly just died in that apartment, because some places are just toxic. You have to really look around and see where you're living, if it's really feeding you or stealing your life. And all I kept wanting to do was sleep. So that to me was a lot of toxicity things, and possible carbon monoxide and possible black mold. Not sure which one was really playing a major role. But my eyes are so much better, my throat is so much better, my congestion that I was having, sinus and everything, is totally clearing up. So I'm building stronger, which is so nice. So on with what we're going to be talking about today. I'm teaching some things today. First of all, first message I wanted to talk about was the chicken craze, the biscuit chicken craze that's going on, and how it is almost targeting a certain group of people to be looked upon as crazed over this chicken, is targeted. So come on, people, let's wake up. Everyone knows that this is a setup. This is a mind control thing that is geared towards a certain group of people that hold that vibration, and to bring forth the result of what is being being put out there. So this came across really strong when I was in Puerto Rico. I just got back a couple days ago, actually day before yesterday, and I loved it out there. And then I was hearing all about this craziness going on about chicken biscuit stuff, and I was like, what? Not happening on an island, only over here in the States. And I was like, what is going on? So it is a frequency that's being sent out that is affecting people to respond like that. So I'm not sure if some of you have been paying attention, but the movie Kingsman has been aired on Sci-Fi Channel, and it's kind of interesting that they were airing that. And if you watch that movie and decode it really well, it shows how people were being targeted energetically through their cell phones, through a sound tone in the air that was causing them to become killers, to start fighting, to start attacking. So pay attention to when something like this happens and people start going crazy, going after food and everything, that it is something that is a frequency that's being released to cause that. Okay, the so-called energy beings that be are causing that and testing it so they can figure out how to control the masses. So just hint, take a look at that. And there is a reason why my camera is on that beautiful Lemurian quartz crystal that's looking at you right now. Hint, how to strengthen the self that deflects certain frequency waves that are to be created in a harmful way to hurt people. Okay, and keep in mind 5G has been around for some time. It was used in the militaries to actually, from what is explained how it's targeted, to actually get the enemy to drop their weapons so that the head opponent person can take over, can get their weapons, and then they can seize them as prisoners. So 5G is all about frequency control. You might be getting nice internet stuff, but don't forget, those waves are also higher and are cancer causing. So a lot of protests is going on in certain areas about people not wanting that 5G to be put up in certain places. Okay, so enough about that. Now I'm going to skip forward and talk about why are certain businesses dissolving. And it's not all about an Amazon thing, okay? Amazon is getting way too much credit saying, oh, people can't stay in business because of Amazon. No. Amazon is doing what Amazon needs to do. They thrive and they manifest being a successful business. So here's the thing. If you are running a business, and this goes out for like hospitals, corporations, anything where you have people working for you, okay? If you are not taking care of the people that work for you, giving them raises, taking care of them, making sure that people are thriving, prosperous, abundant, they are happy, they're content, they love what they do, you're taking care of your people in your corporation, okay? That's going to trickle down to the corporation, and corporation's going to thrive. It's just going to be around. It's going to have a strong energy because the people's heart and energy is taken care of. Now, if you're a corporation that is what I call sneaky slimy means that you are underhandedly doing things that you shouldn't be doing. People know when they're doing right, and people know when they're doing wrong. And they know when they're doing somebody wrong, and they know when they're doing somebody right. So come on, let's go back to fundamentals of being a decent human being 101. So if you have a corporation that's out there and they are nickel and diming people on a dollar, they're stealing their money, they're playing cats and mouse games with their hours and doing all this kind of crazy stuff, not giving them lunch breaks, not giving them their breaks, that people always have to be on top of everything, they're stressed out on how they're being treated by a corporation, a certain place of work, that 9 to 5 or whatever you're doing. And this is why a lot of places like hospitals where nurses are walking out striking because of the overload, because of nickel and diming. You know, they don't want to pay people more money. They want more work out of you, but don't want to pay you. That's not okay, especially on this new frequency on Mother Earth, where we're supposed to be in unity and more harmony, and everybody is thriving. Everybody is in a place where their life counts, their energy exchange for what they do is being taken care of. So this is why it's so frustrating now. You can go to a nice restaurant or something, sit down and eat a meal, go back a week or so later and it's gone. Or better yet, go into a certain shopping center and you were in there shopping not too long ago, go back and now it's closing. So you have to look at this. What is the frequency and the energy that the company is running, and how are they treating their people? If you are working for, let's say you're working for a private company that you are only 2 or 3 employees, and they are running you guys in the ground. They are not giving raises. They're not taking care of you for your breaks, your food. They're expecting more and more out of you, and they are not doing the right exchange. Guarantee you, on this frequency that's hitting the planet right now, how it's locking in to all the light grids, how everyone that is a light grid worker or a light worker on this planet that's anchoring in that light for change on this planet, guarantee you your business is going to come undone. Guaranteed. Because if you're not walking right and you're not putting out the right thing, it's going to come undone. So a lot of places are just coming undone because that frequency, that old energy cannot sustain itself in the new. You have to level up. The people have to be taken care of. Energy exchange has to be valid. There's no more of this, you're going to run somebody down into the ground and not take care of their needs, not compensate them for their time. So all of you that are out there running businesses, harming people, you know who you are, you need to check yourself. Look at the vibration that you're sending out. Because I guarantee you, on this earth plane, right now, that energy is going to come undone. And it'll show up really slow, and then it'll take off. And it'll be, you're having financial problems. Oh, now you can't sustain. Now you got this going on, and things happening, and people not wanting to stay. People are leaving. Yes, people are going to leave if the frequency is not right. That's all there is to that. So pay attention, watch, look how some businesses are treating their people. That's not going to be anymore. That's changing. So step it up, level up. Everyone can prosper. Everyone can be abundant. Everyone can thrive. Everyone can grow. Everyone can reach those things. And if you're an entrepreneur, then move forward into your entrepreneurship and thrive. And then help others along the way. That's where we're moving to. We're moving towards unity. Unity in the heart and the soul. All this other stuff of ego, of greediness, is showing itself and it's coming undone. So, like I said, people know when they're doing people right and they know when they're doing them wrong. And how can you lay your head down on a pillow at night when you know you're doing people wrong? That's for these corporate places, how they do things. So, got that message out. That was a huge message that hit me in Puerto Rico. Because I could see, some of the things. And then I get inundated with clients and things talking about some of the places where they work and how they're treated on the job, how the supervisors and the CEO and all of them, you guys need to look at yourselves. It's not always about that dollar. There's a price you're going to pay in a business if you're treating your people wrong. And that time is now. It's here. So level up. Start doing it right. All right. So while I was in Puerto Rico, loving the energy, loving the air, beautiful weather. Don't pay attention to a lot of the weather things when it comes on and it does a 10-day forecast talking about lightning and thundering, because a lot of times it's lying. And I almost didn't take my trip because of the hurricane that went around, and I'm so sorry that it hit the Bahamas. Hearts and prayers go out to survivors of the Bahamas. And Puerto Rico, while I was out there, was raising money, doing fundraising to raise money for the devastation that hit the Bahamas, because they know they went through that with Maria. And still right now you can see a lot of the devastational things of how the top of the trees were snapped off, and a lot of the road repairs, how they're repairing the roads, and their internet connections and stuff is still a little sketchy. Certain places. That's why a lot of times if people were texting or sending or calling, I wasn't getting the messages, because it had to, depending on where I was in the mountain or where I was, it was getting bumped out. So I really didn't get a lot of messages until like the next day when I got home and something, and then recalibrated my phone. And then I was like, oh, even my mom was like, I've been calling and nothing. You weren't returning my calls. And I said, oh, because I was in Puerto Rico. So hi Mom, hi Dad. So anyway, I just wanted to start talking about my a lot of the, I'm not going to go into too much of the medicine about what I learned out there and what I was doing, but I was dealing with one portion of it is psychic attacks and attachments. So attachments can come in many different forms, and it can come through a surgery, and it can come through an addiction. That's how you can get attachments. And also attachments will link themselves to people who just vibrate at a low vibration, just staying at a low frequency. So it can come in that way. But this particular attachment attached itself to someone, and it was after surgery. And this energy has divided and conquered a group setting. So I'm not going to go into a lot of details about it, but I know my work. I know how I work. I know what I have seen on this planet with my own eyes, and what a dark force looks like, and how it can destroy people, how it can take away cars and give car problems, how it can give financial hardship, how it can create illnesses, how it can break apart loving group energy and cause mayhem and destruction and chaos once it has a host that will keep it. That's the problem. The host doesn't realize that they are the host for this thing, for it. There's a reason why Stephen King, when he made this movie called It, he gave it a face. He gave it a really scary face in his multi-dimensional way. But a lot of attachments, I call them it, because it's no longer that person as long as that person is being the host to it. Okay? And this is where you get the strange personalities. They're not doing what they used to do. They're more argumentative, hateful, always trying to do something conniving, hurtful, pinning people against each other, pointing fingers. doing certain hunts on other people and causing problems, spreading lies, and just chaos. This is what these dark beings do. And the only purpose for these beings when they do that is to feed off of the energy, off of the emotions, off of the anger, off of the anxiety, off of the depression, off of all of that hate energy. It feeds off of it because it's stirring it up and it wants to feed off of it. And as it feeds off of it, it gets a little bit bigger. It builds itself. So now that's all it's going to thrive for is to feed on that energy. Okay? So that is an attachment. So people in settings, if you notice someone that has that, this is a time when you stand together and whatever belief system, medicine, or whatever needs to go into place needs to be activated to get rid of it. Because it's no longer that person, it's that energy of it. So there's power and strength in unity than by self. Okay. Now let's talk about what comes out of that when it's a divide and conquer type of energy. This is where you get on psychic attacks. Now, psychic attacks can come in many different forms. And usually psychic attacks are from people who either envy you, they get jealous, they want what you have, they don't like you, they don't like what you represent. Okay, especially if you being in the field as a light worker. Okay, so being in the field of light workers get a lot of hits. You get attacked very easily by people who don't believe in what you do. Religious plays a huge psychic warfare, spiritual warfare in a lot of things that light workers do. Because people have in their mind that you're supposed to be a certain way, you're supposed to follow this regimen and this, and that's not what following a mission is. Your mission, your soul mission when you come to this earth plane is about following through what you are supposed to do. Has nothing to do with what other people think you're supposed to be doing. Your soul already knows what it's here for, and you are following through with that. So psychic attacks are loss of hair, loss of appetite, anxiety, sudden anxiety that comes on out of nowhere and you didn't suffer with anxiety to begin with, depression, always sleeping all the time, not thriving in life, the I don't care. A lot of psychic attack energy evolves around that type of energy. And it stays with that person, and it just continuously breaks that person down to the point to where either they become super ill or they do the most unforgivable thing of themselves or their life is take their life. There are energies of people out there that will push energy on somebody to make them take their life so that they could be out of the way, so they can do whatever they're going to do. Energetically, chaos. So a lot of psychic attacks come in that form. Psychic attacks also come in forms of headaches, feeling drained all of a sudden. Oh my gosh, especially if you do body work and you're working on people who don't take care of themselves and they have a friend, a hitchhiker on them, I call it an attachment, and that thing doesn't like you and it just zaps you. You come out after you work on a person, you feel nauseated, you feel dizzy, feel drained, tired. That's the time when you need to go put your hands under water, take some sea salt, scrub your hands and your arms, put your feet on the earth, dump it, and just start sweeping your aura, sweeping things off of you, smudging, doing Palo Santos, doing sage, smudging yourself, copal, whatever it is that you need to do to take care of yourself and get that energy off of you. So it doesn't stick with you and weave itself into your auric field and stay with you. And then you don't get rid of it. And so pay attention to ending relationships that have ended, jealousy energy from people, um, um, just energy that you know that's coming from somewhere, and especially if you start feeling things more intensely during a full moon, because 9 times out of 10 that energy of whatever that person's pushing towards you is being intensified if they're utilizing it more during the full moon. So I've had my share of psychic attacks, and I had one that I really dealt with that was she was accusing me of stuff that I didn't do, was very harmful, and then come and find out it wasn't me, it was somebody else that did it to her. Her own husband did it. But once that energy was unleashed, I was becoming ill, losing my hair. I felt like I was being electrocuted every night and didn't thrive in life. I felt like I didn't want to be on the planet. I felt like I just wanted to die. And it was just this weird stuff. And this was probably one of the worst ones about 20-something years ago. And I just couldn't figure it out. And this person was using Egyptian magic on me. Okay? Egyptian. Because she was very into her work and what she did. So, but interesting enough, I met someone who actually saw the energy, was a practitioner of warfare with dark forces and dark attachments, psychic attacks, and knew exactly what to do. And he, bless his heart, I learned a lot from him. A wonderful elder from Africa, and who really put it out there and said, this is what it is, this is how you need to take care of yourself. And I did that, and the energy stopped, and it was gone. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is when that's happening, how do you catch that corded energy and dissolve it and deactivate it? And it's really sitting with yourself and knowing where's that energy coming from. Closing your eyes and just looking for corded energy that doesn't look right in your space and following it, and whose face is at the end of that cord. Because it'll pop up. That face will pop up. And even if they're cloaked, you can say, uncloak. Let me see the truth of who's behind the energy attack. Uncloak. And once it's uncloaked, you really can see who's doing it, where it came from, the root cause of that energy. So taking care of the self and building the self and keeping the aura really strong is one of the key factors. So you can do that with good rose water spray, especially now since our frequency is really intense and is really heightened right now, and it's really bringing in a lot of heavy frequency. So you can use that rose water to keep your vibration up. Quartz crystals that are worn are hematite, obsidians, black tourmaline crystals that are worn helps to develop a stronger shield effect in the aura, so it keeps a lot of things entering so easily, it bounces off. Also using, my favorite I like to use is yarrow. Taking that plant and making a yarrow water, and having that yarrow water now charged up with some tourmaline and some quartz, and then putting it into a spray bottle and misting yourself with it, mixing it with some rose water, strengthens your aura, makes it really good. Notice how I'm saying that. It strengthens your aura, making your shield strong. And if you're taking yarrow in a flower essence form underneath the tongue, it helps to strengthen you inside. So if you had a lot of things that were going on neurologically, energetically, it strengthens you on the inside. So homework assignment, study the spiritual power energy of yarrow. Now, keep in mind this plant, yarrow, is one that helps with blood disorders. So you want to be wise enough to know that you're not going to be taking large amounts of this plant. So I have Capricorns out there. I'm a Cappy myself. More is not always better, okay? Let me just put it out there, Cappies. Come on. More is not always better. So that, using that plant yarrow, and helps to strengthen. And then taking a look at your home. How is your home shielded? You know, can anything just come walking up into your house? Women are responsible for the energy flow of your home. Men are responsible for the balance of what they bring in energetically for survival, for taking care of. It's the masculinity and the divine feminine work energy. Okay, so energetically, your home needs to have beautiful shields that actually creates a frequency vibration that does not allow things to just come walking in. Okay, so take a look at your home. Take a look at strange things when it comes to the doorway. Take a look at your windows. Take a look at mirrors. Okay, mirrors are doorways into the home. First thing I do when I go to any kind of hotel or spending the night over anyone's home and they have mirrors in the room, I shut the mirror down. Shut it down. Just visualize silver gold light over that mirror and a symbol of protection over it, and I shut it down because I don't want things coming through bothering me while I'm sleeping. Okay, and those of you that have mirror closet doors in your children's rooms, let me say that again. Those of you that have mirror closet doors in your children's rooms might want to shut that down so that your beautiful children who are wide open, that can see and feel things, that are sensitive, don't have to be dealing with dimensional beings coming through their mirrors. That's right. Don't have to be dealing with that. And children, pay attention to your children when they're saying, I see something or I'm hearing something, because they are wired on a higher frequency now to exist on this planet that's moving towards an ascending higher frequency. They're already wired. They didn't have to go through all the stuff that we go through trying to figure out what's happening. They already know. And smart as a whip. So pay attention to that. Today, go around and check things. We're moving to a full moon that's coming in on Friday the 13th. Yes. Friday the 13th is, the number 13 is sacred to woman. Hello, divine feminine. Yes. So, do your homework assignment with that yarrow. Do your homework assignment with knowing how your crystals work. Stop thinking that everybody needs to take your hand and guide you. You can do this research. Everyone that's on YouTube that's teaching and giving information and stuff, they did their research. You take the time and do the research. Learn. Become an alchemist of knowledge. I don't let people put these tags on me, like using the tag words now are witch and, voodoo this and that. Nothing wrong with those words. Decode the words and know what the meaning is. But I like to be called an alchemist or a mystic, because that just covers everything. So let me talk about while I was out in Puerto Rico and enjoying and doing my work. Spiral Light, I just love my work with Spiral Light. The elders who experienced that Spiral Light really loved it. Got a lot of things taken care of with that. Did some grid light out there in Puerto Rico. So beautiful. There was a moment when I did the first grid light and anchoring in. The energy was so strong it came through my arms like a magnet, and it was just like I couldn't even release my hands from the earth. I've never had that experience where it was pulling my hands energetically into the earth so strongly. And then finally taking a breath and being able to move out of the energy as that was taking place. So a lot of good work, holding that sacred space with other light workers that are on the island that are doing their work also. You know, people smiling, eating good foods. Yes, the food was off the hook. It was so good. Sad I gotta come all the way from California and fly out to Puerto Rico to get some good food. And food that's nourishing, and how a lot of root plants and everything are put together with different herbs and seasoning, and it's so good. Rooted plants are all about going in and nourishing the root of self, and just the beauty of that. It's so good. So while I was out there, I really was slipping in and out of my light language. And first of all, I want to really give hands up and acknowledgments to Light Star and Kalina. If it wasn't for you guys talking about, I should say not you guys, erase that, for you two light workers talking about light language, I wouldn't have the answer that I have now. You know, something that I've been doing for God only knows how long, and was wondering what it was. So the light language comes through me in songs. It comes through me in times when I'm working on people. And in the Bible, it's called speaking in tongues. But that's like if you're in a full-on like possession or something, speaking in tongues. So it's not like that for me. This light that comes through me is a benevolent, divine light that comes through, and it's speaking through the soul light of self. It's my own native soul tongue that comes in. Everybody has it. Everyone can do it. But some people I know, when I'm around them, I'm activating them. It's actually activating people to be open to start talking their language and to start utilizing the frequency behind that language. So I was getting a lot of downloads when I was in Puerto Rico, and a lot of downloads were happening right in front of the head, my elder medicine woman. So it was happening right in front of her. But it was really, the light language is so beautiful once you embrace it. Now, I'm not talking about people who are pretending to be speaking light language, because you can tell if they're pretending, because they keep saying the same words over and over and over, and it doesn't have any feeling behind it. Light language, when you feel it, depending on what frequency you're vibing at, it activates that light key in you, that code, and surges with you, and you start to feel things like blocking in your heart, or things moving out of your body. You start to feel it. You feel lighter, you feel happier, you feel freer. So those of you that are moving into light language or don't have a clue what it is, I invite you to take a look at Light Star's channel on YouTube and Kalina Millar's. Take a look at her information and see how that resonates with you. So one of the things I noticed when I was coming back from Puerto Rico, and I thought it was really interesting because I was, flying back late at night. I looked up at the sky, I could see the moon. The moon looked really, really close. And then I could see Saturn, how bright that was. And then I saw how there was a unity of these stars that was making like this U formation. And I was like, that's interesting. So as we're coming in and coming into California, I noticed that there is these, the funky little clouds that were hanging around. Those clouds that don't look like clouds. You know which ones I'm talking about. They show up at a certain time of the day, disappear at a certain time of the day. They always have that gray looking color. You know what I'm talking about. They don't look right. I noticed when the wing of the plane was going through those low clouds, it literally, when it was going through those clouds, that cloud energy turned really white like light. And I was like, what is causing that? And I was watching it as it would happen. So the thicker the cloud, the lighter it got. It turned to light. And I said, what is causing that? And all I could hear from Spirit is that it's like charged mirror particles. Mirror particles. So when that wing was hitting it and it had its lights on, it was causing more of a reflection of that cloud light. So notice how I say that. Mirror reflection. Okay, just saying, think about it. When those clouds just show up and it's on a really super hot day, what's it doing? Think about it, what do mirrors do? I'm just saying, okay? So that's information I wanted to share with everyone about my trip and how beautiful it is. The island is definitely healing, and people are thriving, moving through. It's going to take some time to really get everything up and going, but people are just living life and working together. A lot of working together. So take the information that I've shared with you today and go through and make some changes and pay attention to where you're working and how that energy, what kind of energy is that corporation, that business putting out? And are they going to be thriving, or are they taking care of their people? And it's not always about Amazon is moving in and dissolving things. No, it has a lot to do with what you're putting into your business and how it's taking care of other people. So it's about the unity, the divine sacredness unity. All right, I'm going to just go ahead and have a wonderful day. Today is, for the galactic people, it's a red overtone Earth Day. So it's all about working through that heart and being empowered and looking at the synchronicities of this earth and the radiance of that. So the power that surges through, just to let you know, that's what today is. Tomorrow we have a portal. On Sunday is a gamma. It's going to be big, okay? And it's a huge one. So it's already opening itself up now. And so you're going to see a lot more intensity. You might need to increase that water a little bit more and really pay attention to how you're feeding your body so you can kind of sail through this energy. But yeah, that's going to be a deep portal wave tomorrow. A lot of empathic and telepathic energy coming in, especially for tomorrow. So light workers, take care of yourself and bump yourself up. And study about that yarrow plant. Know the history of it and how you can make it. I simply went to the store when I was in Puerto Rico. I said I went to the health food store. And I know they probably don't have it in bulk, but they had it in tea. So I took the tea packages and was able to use and make that mixture for that the person that I needed to make it for, and teach about it. So anyway, be that soul light, be that love you want to see in the world, and have a fantastic day and make it count today, and get ready for tomorrow's energy increase with that wave of portal energy that's coming in, a gamma wave. That means it's going to be intense. And it also means it's the energy you can utilize to manifest. Come on, let's stay focused. All right. Once again, be soul light. Thanks for listening. Have a great day. And you are the answer to your problems. You are the solution to them. You don't like what's going on? Change it. Be that love.